Assalamu alaikum children. Today in English literature we are going to study our reader, the elves and the shoemaker. We will read page 6 and 7. Before we move on to our reading, last week we had discussed about the title page, the book cover and the title page. Over here you can see your reader's book cover or the title page. What can you see on this title page? You can see the title. The title is The Elves and the Shoemaker. And these are the publishers, Ladybird and readers. What else can you see over here on the title page? You can see there are two elves. You can see the two elves, this one and this one. And what are they doing? They are stitching the shoes. You can see the needle in the hand of the elf and the thread. You can also see the shoemaker who is watching them and he is smiling. So this is the title page of your reader. Okay, now let's move over to our reading. So in order to read, we need to understand what characters are present in our reader. So what are the main characters? We have just seen two of the main characters on our title page. First one is the shoemaker. Then you have the shoemaker's wife. Then there are elves. These are the main characters. These are the characters around which the story revolves. Then we have another character of a rich man and a rich woman. So these are the 5 characters that you will come across in your reader. Now we will read page 6 and 7. Before we continue with the reading, let's observe the picture. You can see that this is the shoemaker, and you can see that the shoemaker is sad and he is holding a piece of leather in his hand. Now why is the shoemaker sad? We are going to read and find out. What else do you see in the picture? This is the cobbler's foot we had discussed last time. This is on which the cobbler or the shoemaker makes the shoes. Then you can see the needle and the thread also over here. Now let's read and find out why the shoemaker is sad. Once upon a time there lived a poor shoemaker and his wife. They were cobblers. "This is all the leather I've got now," said the shoemaker. "I can make only one more pair of shoes." So the shoemaker lives with his wife. He is poor. They both are cobblers. Shoemaker and his wife, they make the shoes. Who are the cobblers? Cobblers are the ones who make shoes. And why is the cobbler sad? Why is the shoemaker sad? Because he only has one piece of cloth left with him, one piece of leather left with him. He doesn't have any more pieces to make the shoes. He has only one piece to make one pair of shoes. He would make the shoes and then sell them to get money and then buy more pieces of leather. Let's read it again and then we will move over to other activities. Once upon a time there lived a poor shoemaker and his wife. They were cobblers. "This is all the leather I've got now," said the shoemaker. "I can make only one more pair of shoes." Now we will read again, but this time when you read, you need to know about the nouns, verbs and adjectives that have been used in the 2 paragraphs that we have read. Let's revise what are nouns, verbs and adjectives. Noun is the name of a person, place, animal or thing. We have discussed noun a lot in unit 1. For example, Ali, Rawalpindi, these are the proper nouns. Dog and chair, these are the common nouns. Now, what are verbs? Verb is an action word. Any action that you take, that is, that if you describe that action with a certain word, that is called a verb. For example, walk, talk, speak, eat, drink, sleep. All of these words are action words and they are called verb. Now, verb can also be used to express thoughts and emotions. For example, if you say, I like ice cream, I know I'm going to pass my exams, I wish I had a big bag, I think I am going to win this race, etc. You can see the words like, know, wish, think, these are the verbs. Some verbs are also helping verbs, like we discussed in the last lesson, that is, am, are, was, were, has, have. These are also verbs and they are the helping verbs. Now, the adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives describe nouns. If there is a noun like shirt and you want to describe it like it has a red color or a green color, so this red and green are the adjectives. Adjectives can describe the nouns in this way that they can be telling you about the number, how many they are. They can be telling you about the appearance, the color, and then they can also tell you about the quality. Like over here you can see the girl, she is an intelligent girl. So intelligent is a quality, intelligent is an adjective. Big school, this is telling you about the size, how big your school is. So school is a noun and big is an adjective. Shirt is a noun and red is an adjective. So I hope you would remember this when we read the two paragraphs again. Now, we will read and we will identify the nouns, verbs and adjectives. Once upon a time, there lived a poor shoemaker, okay, and his wife. Now, live is an action, so live is a verb. Live is a verb. Similarly, shoemaker is a noun. The wife is a noun. And there is a word poor written over here. Poor shoemaker. We just revised that anything which is describing a noun is called an adjective. So poor over here is an adjective. They were cobblers. Now they were cobblers. They is a pronoun. Were is a verb and cobblers is the noun. Now, this is all the leather I've got now. Is we discussed that is a helping verb. Leather is a noun and got, I've got. Got is the past form of the verb get. So got is also a verb. Said the shoemaker. Said, saying, conveying something, conveying your thought or feeling. Said is also a verb. Said the shoemaker. I can make only one more pair of shoes. Now shoes is a noun. Make, making something, doing something. Make is a verb. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the nouns and the verbs and the adjective that has been used in these two paragraphs. Now, what do we have to do in class? We have to do the question answers. Write your date and day and classwork in the middle, and then write the topic, the elves and the shoemaker, page 6 and 7. Question answers. Question 1. Write down the names of characters from the reader. We have discussed the characters. The characters in the reader are shoemaker, shoemaker's wife, elves, rich man and rich woman. Question 2. Write 3 to 4 sentences on the title page. On the title page, there is the title of The Elves and the Shoemaker. Elves are making the shoes. Shoemaker is watching them. Who said this? Question 3. Who said this? This is all the leather I have got. Answer. The shoemaker said this. Complete your classwork and take your time in completing it. Now let's move over to our homework. You have to do 2 pages of your reader, page number 47 and 48. Let's look at page number 47. It says, look and read. Choose the correct words and write them on the lines. The first word is elves, second is gold coins, third is cut, and this is shoemaker. We have to identify which word is it after reading the sentence. This is a person who makes shoes. Who makes shoes? Shoemaker. We do this to make a thing smaller. How can we make something smaller? By cutting it. Cut. We buy things with these. What do we buy things with? With the money. Over here it's the gold coins. They are very small people in stories who like to help other people, and that is the elves. Now look at page number 48. Look and read. Write yes or no. You have to read this page again, the one we have read today. The shoemaker lived with his wife. Yes, he lived with his wife. The shoemaker and his wife were rich. No, they were not rich. They only had one piece of leather left and for making a pair of shoes. So they were not rich, they were poor. And it is mentioned in your reading over here, if you read, that he was a poor shoemaker. Okay, number 3. The shoemaker needed more leather. Yes, he needed more leather because he had only one piece of leather left. The shoemaker could only make 2 more pairs of shoes. No, he could make only 1 pair. I hope you have understood the classwork and homework, and you have understood what we have read today on page number 6 and 7. Take care of yourselves. Next week we are going to continue with the reading of our reader.